Welcome to another Natural Grocers Nutrition Education presentation.
Hello, I'm Janine with Natural Grocers, and we are pleased to present Jillian Steele. Jillian is a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, registered nurse, and licensed acupuncturist. Jillian will be presenting on optimizing digestive function. Welcome, Jillian.
Thank you, Janine, and thank you, Natural Grocers. It is so nice to be talking with the patrons of Natural Grocers again. My name is Jillian Steele. I am the founder and owner of Jillian Steele Nutrition. And like Janine said, I am a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, a registered nurse for 20 years, and a licensed acupuncturist. I am so excited to be here with you this evening and sharing the importance of our digestive function for our overall health. Let's get started. For this evening's objectives, I'm going to discuss the importance of digestive function, 5 key players in digestive function, and how to optimize your digestive function. So my philosophy is I work with clients to optimize function, restore balance, and remove any blocking factors identified through the use of specialized lab testing to support their body to heal. So I like to think of our health as not being too different from a tree. I'm sure some of us are like this tree. Obviously, it is not doing so well as it only has 2 leaves. The dying branches are indicators of a deeper problem, just like our symptoms are indicators of a deeper problem. Now, cutting off the dead branches won't help the tree get better. And by not addressing the bigger problem, the 2 branches that still have leaves will probably not have leaves soon. But by addressing where the tree gets its hydration and nutrients, you can restore the health of the tree, just like you can do for yourself. How do we do this? By optimizing digestive function, restoring balance in your microbiome, and removing blocking factors. I'm sure you have heard this saying many times before, you are what you eat. But this isn't exactly true. Even if you eat the highest quality food, if you are not able to effectively digest that food and then absorb the nutrients from that food, it will just make its way through and out of your digestive tract, and it may even cause some harm. You are what you digest and absorb. So why is digestion important? Proper digestion is required to break down food into nutrients. The nutrients are then absorbed into the bloodstream, which the body uses for energy, growth, and repair. When the gastrointestinal system can't properly digest and absorb nutrients, it affects the vitality of the entire body. When one is not digesting, one is not absorbing. Over time, this can become chronic and nutritional deficiencies. This can lead to a downstream of negative effects that can lead to a plethora of health issues, including increased risk of fractures, bloating, indigestion, muscle wasting, fatigue, anemia, prolonged wound healing, dry thinning hair, depression, infertility, diarrhea and constipation, allergies, acid reflux, thyroid and cardiovascular issues, dry skin, and so much more. Digestion is the top healing priority of the body. And your digestive system is also one of your first lines of defenses from pathogens. So there are 5 key players for optimizing digestive function. First, your mouth. Your mouth breaks large food particles into small food particles. The actual motion of chewing is what does this. This requires healthy teeth, jaw, and mouth. Saliva contains enzymes. It also helps to moisten the food to make it easier for it to pass through the esophagus into the stomach. The enzymes it contains are digestive enzymes of amylase and lipase, which start the breakdown of carbohydrate and fat molecules. Chewing signals the rest of your GI tract to prepare. The motion of chewing and the release of saliva lets the rest of your digestive tract know that food is on the way. Your stomach will start secreting its own digestive enzymes and gastric acid to continue the breakdown of food once it has arrived in the stomach. Your mouth also helps to reduce the risk of bacterial overgrowth. Food is meant to be broken down into its smallest molecules in order for the body to be able to absorb it and use it. When it is not, it can become a buffet for bacteria living throughout your digestive gut. You have no other sharp items throughout your digestive tract like you do your teeth to really tear apart and masticate the food. The more breakdown of food you can do with chewing, the easier it'll be for the rest of your digestive system. Some issues you can have with your mouth are malaligned or missing teeth. This does not allow for you to effectively break down your food. This is a big reason why dental care is so important. Temporomandibular joint, or TMJ disorders. People with these disorders have pain and stiffness at the joint where the lower jaw meets the upper jaw. This can cause pain with chewing and can mean swallowing your food before it has been chewed completely. In a hurry eating. This is seen when you only have a, quote, few minutes to eat. You quickly scarf down your food. I personally know this one very well from being a nurse in a busy ICU unit. And you really know that you have been doing this when you feel like your food you have eaten feels like a rock in your stomach. A mouth breather. This can be due to a deviated septum, sinus infection, or other upper respiratory infections. If you are not able to breathe through your nose well enough, you will quickly chew your food and swallow just so that you can catch your breath. The second key player in optimizing digestive function is gastric acid. Gastric acid aids in the breakdown of proteins. Gastric acid has an acidity of 1 to 3. This acidity helps to break apart protein molecules. It's the same idea of adding a little vinegar when making a roast. It helps to make the roast tender because it starts that breakdown of the proteins. It activates digestive enzymes. Not only does it activate digestive enzymes that are secreted in your stomach, but the acidity of the chyme, once it reaches your small intestine, will trigger the pancreas to release digestive enzymes as well. It kills bacteria. Most bacteria that try to hitch a ride in with your food will not make it past your stomach if you have an adequate amount of stomach acid for the acidity to be at a pH of 1 to 3. Once that pH is 5 or above, bacteria will be able to survive and will continue to hitch a ride into the rest of your GI tract. Whenever you add food or liquid to your stomach, this will raise your pH. But if you are able to make an adequate amount of acid or supplement the acid, it will help to lower the pH back down. If you don't make an adequate amount of acid or take an acid blocker, you will not be able to get the pH low enough to kill off those bacteria hitchhikers. Gastric acid also helps to transform food into chyme. The squeezing and relaxing of the stomach muscles help to mix your food with gastric acid and digestive enzymes. This breaks the food down into a thick, acidic, soupy mixture called chyme. Once your food has reached this consistency, it will pass from your stomach into your small intestine. Now, I mentioned about having an adequate amount of gastric acid. An inadequate amount of gastric acid can cause issues including reflux. When you don't have enough gastric acid to break down the carbohydrates in your stomach, they start to ferment. Also, like I mentioned previously, when you don't have enough gastric acid, it will not kill off the bacteria. So what happens when fermenting carbohydrates and bacteria get together? Gas. And it only takes a small drop of gastric acid to be carried up into the esophagus with that gas bubble to cause the burning sensation of reflux. Overgrowth of bacteria, specifically H. pylori. H. pylori is a bacteria that lives in your stomach. A small amount is normal, but if it is able to overgrow due to inadequate gastric acid, it can cause severe issues, including peptic ulcers, gastritis, and stomach cancer. The third key player for optimizing digestive function are digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes break down molecules into their building blocks. Lipase will split fatty acids off of fats and oils. Protease and peptidase will split proteins into amino acids and peptides. And amylase will split carbs like starches and sugars into glucose. Digestive enzymes are secreted by your salivary glands in the mouth, gastric glands in the stomach, secretory cells in your pancreas, and secretory glands in the small intestine. The fourth key player is bile. So bile is made in the liver but stored in your gallbladder. It is released when chyme enters the small intestine. Your chyme triggers a neurotransmitter to tell the gallbladder to give a big squeeze. This sends a bolus of bile into the small intestine. Bile aids in the digestion of your fats. Bile contains bile salts that surround the fat droplets. This keeps the fat droplets separate and not reforming back into larger particles of fat. It is similar to that old commercial for Dawn dish soap where you see the greasy water and one drop of Dawn separates all the grease. This is what bile salts do. This then allows the lipase to get into each fat droplet and break off the fatty acids. Bile is also an antimicrobial. It helps to kill bacteria. So some issues we can have when it comes to bile is biliary stasis, or also known as stagnant bile. This is when the bile becomes thick and sludgy and sometimes even too thick to even move. This is typically caused by a poor diet over a period of time. Gallstones. Once the bile has been stagnant long enough, gallstones will start to form. These stones can block the exit from the gallbladder or somewhere along the duct that connects the gallbladder to the small intestine. If it blocks the duct, it can cause a backup of bile into the gallbladder, causing it to become inflamed. This will cause lots of pain and is known as a gallbladder attack. A stone that blocks the duct can also block enzymes from the pancreas to get to the small intestine, as they share a part of the duct. This can cause a backup of enzymes into the pancreas, which will irritate and inflame the pancreas. This can cause pancreatitis. No gallbladder. If you've had your gallbladder removed, you will not have a bolus of bile when you eat. Your liver will continue to make bile. Without somewhere to store it, you will have just a continuous little trickle of bile into the small intestine. This can be very inflammatory to the small intestine if there is no food for it to mix with. And then when you do eat your fats will not be able to be fully broken down if you don't have enough bile released when you eat. Fifth key player is your gut microbiome. Trillions of organisms that inhabit your digestive tract and make up a happy little community is known as your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome can impact everything about your health, including how your body responds to stress, how well your body can digest certain carbohydrates, the health of your immune system, how you store fat, and much, much more. A higher diversity of gut microbes is associated with better health. Your microbiome contains normal bacteria, which are beneficial and maintain gut health, such as producing various vitamins, supporting GI motility and immunity for both your body and gut. Opportunistic bacteria, which are present at low levels but can become problematic if they proliferate, which tends to happen when the beneficial bacteria are depleted. Fungi or yeast is also normal but at low levels. They tend to overgrow due to high carbohydrate intake or antibiotic use. It is also possible for pathogens to be found in your gut microbiome. They can be bacterial, viral, or parasitic. They are usually consumed with bad food or water. So your gut microbiome most of it is found in the large intestine. A smaller amount is found in the small intestine, an even smaller amount in the stomach, and there are some in the mouth. Your gut microbiome also helps to continue the breakdown of complex carbs and proteins. It assists with the absorption of nutrients, and it makes certain nutrients too. Certain vitamins that it helps to make are vitamin K, which is helpful with blood clotting and bone health, and many of the B group vitamins, specifically vitamin B12 and folate. Just so you know, B vitamins help the body convert food to energy, create new blood cells, and maintain healthy skin and brain cells and other body tissues. So issues that can happen with the gut microbiome is dysbiosis, also known as an imbalance of the organisms in your microbiome. This can be bacterial, fungal or yeast, viral, or parasitic. And then SIBO. SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, is just what the name says it is. It can be an overgrowth of normal or opportunistic bacteria in your small intestine. Your small intestine is only able to handle so much bacteria because as the bacteria digests its food, it puts off gas. And since the diameter of the small intestine is smaller and there's no quick exit for the gas like the stomach or large intestine, the gas gets stuck. People with SIBO often have multiple GI issues, including abdominal discomfort, severe bloating after eating, constipation, or diarrhea. Recent studies have been showing that reduced digestive function is correlated with SIBO. So, how do we go about optimizing our digestive function? So your digestive tract is like a river. Whatever happens upstream affects downstream. Here's the flow of your digestive river. Your mouth and stomach to your liver, gallbladder and pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, which helps to affect your minerals, fatty acids, sugar handling, vitamin needs, and all of this is needed for all of these systems down here to work correctly. So when there is a problem upstream, like this dam, you can see that it affects the flow of the river downstream. The same is with your digestion. Say you don't produce enough gastric acid, and then your bile is sludgy and not able to flow to your small intestine as easily as it should. Here are your dams. It will eventually affect everything else downstream. As time goes on, you may add more dams downstream to the point where you aren't able to get the minerals, vitamins, and fatty acids that you need for energy, function, and repair. This will then also affect all your systems below this red line. So, how to optimize your digestive function? First, sit down to eat. Turn off electronics and take a couple of deep breaths before eating. Let's focus on eating when we're eating. Feel the textures and tastes. 2, chew your food thoroughly. If you need to see a dentist because you have missing or malaligned teeth, TMJ disorder, please do so. Let's get that fixed. Eat fermented foods that contain probiotics. Yogurt, kefir, kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, miso, tempeh, these are all great fermented foods that contain probiotics. And then work with a functional practitioner to assess and optimize your digestive function, restore balance, and remove any blocking factors to allow your body to heal. Functional practitioners have specialized testing that allows them to assess your digestive function and create a protocol specific to you and your needs for optimizing and healing your digestion and overall gut health. So I am a functional practitioner. If you want to connect with me or have more questions, want to learn more, you can connect with me at JillianSteeleNutrition.com. From there, you can schedule a free consultation and sign up for my weekly newsletter about the impact of improving gut health.
Thank you so much, Jillian.
Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like the video and subscribe for more virtual classes from Natural Grocers. Are you looking for a personalized nutrition device to support your unique health goals? Please visit naturalgrocers.com/virtual-coaching to book a free one-on-one nutritional health coaching session with your nutritional health coach today.